Hey, what is up everyone? This is PvT-Mitten's and I'm going to be doing my Gran Turismo Sport review. Sorry about how long this is, but I do want to have a lot to say about this game, so let us get started. Your standard menu, I find it a bit cumbersome as opposed to, I think Gran Turismo PSP had the best menu of the modern Gran Turismos. I know it's not modern as in, you know, PS4, late PS3 to PS4, but it's still a modern Gran Turismo in my eyes. Um, if you've been seeing on the screen, it's got your standard menus, which I'll be getting into some of them later, of course. Uh, you'll see here, this is you can change your home page. For example, you're going to be seeing me changing the background for the Ferrari. The load times in this game can be a bit annoying, but it's to be understandable for how big the game is. But for example, I'll change the background here to like this club with all those neon lights in the background. Yeah, you can do stuff like that. It's little things like that there that are good, but unfortunately they left out a lot of little things that made Gran Turismo enjoyable. I'm not saying this game's bad, it's far from it, but yeah, I'll explain more as we get along. But anyhow, there's your liveries. It's it's decent. It's not as good as Forza, but it is good. But tuning your car is just sliding. You can't install parts anymore like you used to be able to, which is a ridiculous thing they did. This seems to be like a little mini shop kind of thing where I can buy, say, the Mitsubishi here, different, colors and that there for the car. There is no used dealership anymore because of everything has to be premium with 160 cars and that there. I still preferred the used dealership. I don't care what anyone says. I loved it. We will get to the cars in a minute because it annoys me to some extent. Now here we go. America, right? Now you got your Ford, Chevrolet, Dodge, Infiniti, and these other two which I've never heard of. I'm going to be honest, I have not. Now Ford. Now, do you remember how people used to rip on Gran Turismo 5 and 6 for the amount of Nissan Skylines in it? Just here. Focus. Mustang, 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 Focus. There's all the Fords in the game, by the way. Yeah. I'm not a Ford fan, by the way. I actually don't like Ford as a company, but hey, I'll call bullshit when I see it. Let's go to Dodge, my favorite American company. Now, you got the Hellcat, which is a new Dodge. You got the Viper, a Viper, Viper, and a Tomahawk. Yeah. No Challenger. None of the old cars. Now let's get to Europe. No Vauxhall for England, and no Land Rover. What the hell? You got Lewis Hamilton, right? See, it's Lewis Hamilton. Yet there's no Formula One cars in this game, and a bit of an odd choice. There's no Daytona either, which I know Daytona was in 5. You German vehicles, Porsche's been added. You French vehicles, which I'm not really into French vehicles to be honest. Now we come to Italy. Low Lancia is bullshit. No Fiat. But let's get to Ferrari, the crown jewel of racing. Yeah, 3 Italians and 1 LaFerrari. Yeah, there's more Ferraris in Gran Turismo 5 Prologue than there is this full game. Now, I don't care what anyone says, this game has a shit car list. But let's get to something really odd they added. Now, this is telling you about, history of cars. That's a really neat idea. That's good. Until you get stuff like this. What's that got to do with cars? That doesn't have anything to do with cars. And the next one is quantum theory has to do with cars. What the fuck does Wizard of Oz have to do with cars? See, it should have just been things to do with cars. That would have been cool. Then you got your Lambos. There's a lot of cars missing, a lot of manufacturers. But let's get to the absolute kick in the balls. Toyota, Nissan, Honda, Mazda, Subaru. But let's get to the actual thing that pissed me off. Let's go to Toyota. Right? Good manufacturer, not my favorite, but they are good. They're all new Toyotas. Where's the Celica. You know, then you got the Nissan. Get ready to just fucking cringe, because I did. All GTRs except the last one, which is a Nismo, which essentially is a GTR anyway. No Skyline, no Sylvia. Yeah, thanks Polyphony. I mean, all GTRs, because that's what everyone wanted. Honda. I own a Honda in real life, a Honda Jazz. We got a Civic, MSX, oh NSX, sorry. Should have been the old NSX, but okay. See how many Hondas that are all NSX? Subaru, right? All the CMW RX, not the old one. Yeah. Do you see what I'm getting at here? People bitched about Gran Turismo 5 and 6 having all these Nissans Skyline variants, but at least they had other cars. I mean, hell, Gran Turismo 4 and PSP had Holden in it. They had the Ford Falcon range in it, and this doesn't. See, there's you got your concept car there for the Mitsubishi. But do you see what I'm getting at? The cars are just... they're terrible, but they're not the worst in the game. The worst is the track, you know, how many tracks are in the game. Now this is your campaign mode. It's a driving school, teaching you how to brake, accelerate, corner, shit like that there. What the hell? Really? At least make a story mode similar to, say, Forza. It's your main competitor, Polyphony. Step it up. Then you've got this here, which essentially is vehicle challenges. For example, it'll give you different, objectives to do. They're part of the story. They're better than the driver's license part, but I just find them to be boring, to be completely honest with you. And then we get the last one, which is the essentially use the tracks, get used to the tracks, train on the tracks. That's what they are. That's all they are. There's all the tracks in the game. I'll be getting into that in a second. But yeah. This is the photo mode. Do you remember they hyped it up prior to its launch? The photo mode is actually really good. I have to admit, it's fantastic. As you can see, there's quite a lot of locations. I hope more are added later on. Let's go to Ireland. Northern Ireland, but apparently it's set in Ireland, even though it's part of the UK. But yeah, as you can see, it uses real life photos for you to set the car up, which you'll see me do in a minute. Now, I'm not going to talk about the DRM thing because, quite frankly, everyone knows about it. It should not be in Gran Turismo. What can you do? Music, on the other hand, music's actually very good in this game. It's not bad, which I thought it was going to be, because if you remember my original video for the reveal of Gran Turismo Sport, I complained about that really shitty song they were playing in the background. That song is not in this game. It's been taken out completely, and they've replaced it with actual good music to listen to, which I'm really glad they did. So that is good. But I will be getting to other stuff later on, of course. As you can see, for the photo mode, I can turn on the lights, hazard lights, stuff like that there, turn the angle of the tires, that there. It does upload them in higher resolution than the actual, taking a screenshot from a PlayStation. I'm not playing this in 4K, obviously. This is the standard PlayStation 4. I haven't got to play Pro. Pro. That's what we were just talking about there. I haven't got to play VR. I don't have a VR set. I don't want a VR set. I've heard it's pretty good. So, anyone that has a VR headset, it's good for you, I suppose. I haven't played split screen, but I've heard split screen actually is good. So, if you've got a friend and you want to play a racing game, Gran Turismo may be the game you might want to check out. The game itself, which you'll be seeing footage soon, you will see the game runs at 60 frames per second. So that's also great. I mean, for it to look as good as it does and to run at 60 frames is pretty damn impressive. I mean, it's not as good looking as, say, Drive Club, but it is better looking than 90% of the other racers out in the market. So yeah, but there's the photo. As you can see, it looks fantastic. You can zoom in a little bit, zoom in on the Audi there. Yeah. Now, remember we were talking about cars? All the cars are 2008 upwards. So thanks for that, Polyphony. I mean, that's what we really wanted, didn't we? But yeah. Anyhow, these are the tracks. I'll let you look through them very quickly here. Now, do you see how Nuremberg is locked? I've got to be level 20 to actually get to it. That is just ridiculous. I mean, locking out a track to a level, and if you see there's no Le Mans, Laguna Seca, all that there, which I'll get to that later as well. Here's your profile, just keeps up to date of everything you do in the game, as you can see. It's just your standard profile, keeps track of your unlocks, you know, your shit like that there. But yeah, the tracks. Where are the old Gran Turismo tracks like Mountain Trail? I mean, and where are the snow tracks that were in Gran Turismo PSP and 5? But here, let's actually get to some footage. This is drifting. I actually really enjoy the drifting in this game. As you can see, it's very responsive, and the one thing this game does extremely well is the controls and the actual feel of the game. It feels so good to drive in this game, and this is using a controller, mind you. I'm not using, you know, a wheel setup. If you're using a wheel setup, it must feel amazing to play this game. But as you can see, drifting in this game, it's not over long, it's not short, it's the way it should be, that kind of thing. As you can see, 10,000 points. Now, here's what the game looks when the actual lighting hits off the car. So you can see I'm driving the Ferrari. The lighting in this game is just absolutely beautiful. No one can take that away from the game. And the AI actually make mistakes. I've actually got footage here of the AI making a mistake. Look, he overturns, and I get around the corner here, and the blue car in front of me is, oh, and the white car as well. But here's what the sounds are like in the game. As you can hear, they are pretty at best. And this is my experience online. Everyone just crashing into everyone. That's all I'm getting online. Now, Gran Turismo, when you actually stick the game online for the first time, it actually tells you don't crash, don't cut in front of people like this. I'm glad they do that, but unfortunately, some of the community didn't actually listen to that. So yeah. So what should you take from this review? Or my thoughts, should I say, sorry. The gameplay is outstanding. The car list is terrible. Track list is terrible. I mean, not to have Laguna Seca, not to have Le Mans in it, not to have, you know, Mountain Trail, the snow map, which I have forgotten what it's called, I apologize, is embarrassing for Gran Turismo. As I said about the car list, it's pathetic. It's the worst car list Gran Turismo's ever had. To not have the likes of Vauxhall, Holden, Lancia, Fiat, the Ford Falcon range is a bit ridiculous. Graphically, the game looks stunning. I mean, all 164 cars, I believe, are in the game. All are premium. All of them look as good as what you're seeing on screen. But I miss the dealership, the old, you know, I wouldn't have cared if we had, you know, the cars that looked a bit worse than the others. As long as I got to drive, you know, a good range that Gran Turismo usually does offer, which they don't here. So yeah, and there's me just spinning out there because I lost control. But also, there's no 24-hour Le Mans or 24-hour in single player. You actually have to go to arcade and do it there, which is, I suppose, is fine. It's still in the game, but yeah. No Formula 1, no NASCAR. Rally, I would lightly say Rally, is in it, but not represented well. And as I said about the tuning, sorry about that, PlayStation cut out. But anyway, as I said about the tuning, it's just sliding your slider left and right. What happened to actually letting us put the parts into the car like you could in the older Gran Turismos? That is pretty ridiculous. Um, Now the pricing of the game. If you watch my pickup video, I paid 120 to do the thing, but I don't know how much it may be over where you live. It's not worth full price. That's the best way of putting it. Everything was. It seems like they put everything into the photo mode. The forget graphics and gameplay. That's obviously what Gran Turismo's good at. But they've put everything into the photo mode and online. Which, if online's your cup of tea, all well and good. Maybe you'll get matches better than I have. Um, Photo mode's fantastic, but it's not warranted a full price of a video game because of the lack of cars, tracks, removal of old features that were in the game, like the tuning, as I said, car dealership. Um, and there's a really lackluster story mode or career mode. But at least there's no microtransactions. I will give Polyphony Digital that. No microtransactions. Good on them for that. But yeah, overall, would I recommend Gran Turismo? Yes, I would. It is, as I said before, gameplay is fantastic, and if you want a game to really show graphical power for your PlayStation, if you have besides, obviously, Uncharted, Drive Club, The Order, stuff like that there. Gran Turismo is one that shows what it can do. The lighting effects are, as I said before, absolutely stunning. But yeah, so I would recommend waiting for this game, the game to go down a little bit in money. Don't buy full, price. But yeah, it's up to you in the end. I mean, it is a late review, and a lot of people that are probably interested in the game have bought it. But for anyone that hasn't, and you come across this video, just wait for a little bit of a price drop when they add more cars and tracks into the game. But anyhow, overall, I would give the game a 7.5. Would have been higher, better content, and it could have been a lot worse, but turns out it wasn't, so good on Polyphony for that. But anyhow, thanks for watching the video, guys. Sorry about the length of the video, and take care. See you later, guys.